Hi, welcome to the December 2022 Bourne Review. I'm Susan Barlow. Well, Happy New Year, everyone. First, some headline news and announcements. Thinking about snow this winter, or more importantly, snow removal, the Bourne DPW has increased its pay rate to snow removal contractors by 40%. The raise was needed due to the lack of contractors signing up. After seeing the news of the many car accidents and over 35 fatalities in Buffalo, New York from Winter Storm Elliott and in other parts of the country that were besieged by freezing temperatures, hurricane-force winds, and overwhelmed by giant snowfalls, it seems vital to have these plowing contracts in hand. Homeless for the Holidays held its 21st annual fundraiser from December 7th to the 11th out front of the Bay Motor Inn at 221 Main Street. The Bourne fundraiser collected 2,410 toys, 2,936 pounds of food, and $31,793 this year in Bourne. The very impressive total of 21 years of this event in Bourne is 50,494 toys, 68,106 pounds of food, and $388,687. This fundraiser has spread to other towns throughout the Cape. This year's totals for the Cape are an amazing over 11,000 toys, almost 9,000 pounds of food, and over $95,000. Wow, well done. Mass DOT has announced there will be 2 Zoom information meetings about the Cape Cod Bridges program to replace both bridges. The first meeting is at 6 p.m. on January 24th, and the second identical meeting will be at 6 p.m. on January 26th. You must register online to receive your Zoom link. Go to mass.gov/cape-bridges and then click on a new gateway for the Cape, and then scroll down to upcoming public meetings. Mass DOT will present on the status of the program, bridge types, proposed bridge lane configurations, potential bridge locations, and next steps. There will be an opportunity for public comments and questions following the formal presentation. Public input will be reviewed and considered to the maximum extent possible. Both Falmouth and Cape Cod hospitals are in need of blood donations. You can schedule an appointment online through the Cape Cod Healthcare website. Now for our top stories. It seemed like non-stop holiday fun in Bourne. Hundreds turned out for this year's Christmas in Old Bourne Village. The Uptuxet Garden Club of Bourne held their holiday greens and bake sale in the yard of the Briggs McDermott House. The Briggs McDermott House was open to the public, and each room was decorated with a Victorian-themed holiday display. If you would like more information about the Briggs McDermott House and the Bourne Society for Historic Preservation that oversees the house, visit bournepreservation.org. The Jonathan Bourne Public Library held 2 mini Nutcracker ballet performances. along with free cupcakes, hot chocolate, and culminating in the lighting of the Christmas tree out front with carolers.
3, 2, 1.
And around the corner at 30 Keene Street, Maureen Dunn entertained visitors with harp music while quahog chowder was served along with a variety of sweets. Many families celebrated the holidays at a Winter Wonderland event hosted by the Bourne Recreation Department and the Bourne Historical Society. The gym at the Bourne Community Building had some great inflatables for kids to play on, including giant inflatable slide, a jousting ring, and an inflatable axe throwing. Face painting, and a mailbox that took letters to Santa. Also, photos with Mr. and Mrs. Claus. Unfortunately, the rain prevented roasting marshmallows outside and the big lighting of the tree ceremony. 6th, 7th, and 8th Bourne Middle School band members entertained a crowd at the Bourne High School auditorium.
So I hope you enjoy. Here's the 7th grade with African Noel.
On a cold but windless December 21st from 4 to 8 p.m., the Bourne Historical Society hosted its annual Winter Solstice celebration at the museums at Uptuxet. The Lyons Family Pavilion was trimmed with Christmas lights, and inside crockpots of different soups, beans, and mac and cheese were plugged in and ready to serve. Oysters were cooked outdoors on the grill. Visitors could make and decorate a lantern and then, using the lantern, follow the lighted path beyond the decorated boats through the woods to a clearing lit by colored globes. There, visitors could say goodbye to the problems of the past year and set their intentions for 2023 as they walked the circle around the colored lights. These thoughts were also written on pieces of paper and then placed in a large cardboard house, which was burned at the end of the night. It was a very special evening. The celebration was free and open to the public. Donations were gratefully accepted. If you'd like more information about the Bourne Historical Society, visit bournehistoricalsociety.org. And then on January 1st at noon, it's the 26th Polar Plunge, freezing for a reason at Monument Beach.
fantastic. I loved it. It was ice cold. My legs were freezing, but it's for a great cause. It's a great way to start the new year, happy, healthy, and to help the Bourne Food Pantry. It's amazing.
Monument Beach Polar Club will hold their annual potluck dinner and dance on February 4th from 6 to 11. There you can pick up your t-shirts from the plunge, and there will be lots of raffles and fun events. The air temperature this year was a mild 52 degrees with no wind, and the water temperature was a chilly 39 degrees. Wreaths Across America held its annual ceremony and placement of wreaths on the grave markers at the Massachusetts National Cemetery in Bourne on December 17th. Wreaths Across America is a nonprofit organization that was founded in 1992. The Wreaths Across America movement was founded by Morrill Worcester, owner of Worcester Wreath Company in Harrington, Maine. He had a surplus of wreaths that year and donated them for placement at the Arlington National Cemetery. It has now grown to over 3,400 national cemeteries in all 50 states. The event has been held at the National Cemetery in Massachusetts on Joint Base Cape Cod every year since 2006. If you'd like to donate money for wreaths or sign up to volunteer to place wreaths, visit wreathsacrossamerica.org. When should a building be preserved from the wrecking ball? There are 2 buildings in Bourne that the Historic Commission has requested be preserved. A residential house located at 9 Sandwich Road, known as the Keene House. The house was built in 1690 by Benjamin Perry. And the former information booth, which sits on the property at the Bourne Rotary. That's now going to be a Cumberland Farms. It will be developed into a very large store, a Burger King, and a gas station. Here's an update on town services. Here's what's happening at the library.
Happy New Year, Kathy.
Happy New Year, 2023. Wow.
Ooh,
I don't know. That doesn't sound like a great year, but hopefully it will be.
can't be any worse than 2019 and 2020.
This is also true.
So let's look on the bright side.
Okay.
Speaking of bright side, we've decided that January is going to be the month to kind of clear the cobwebs.
Okay. No hibernating.
No hibernating. Dust off the brain cells, dust off the creativity.
Right.
One of the things we're offering is this Korean lotus flower.
That is very cool. And
Isn't
it's
it?
a lantern.
And it's a lantern. We have a light in it. So you start off with this. It's being led by Zoom, but we're going to do it here in the building, or you can get the link and do it at home. You start with this, a bag of supplies, and your end creation is this.
Wow. That is
It's a really
neat
neat program. There'll also be a history of the Korean lotus flower by the person who's presenting the program. It's a January 17th daytime program. So for all of you that don't drive at night, no excuses. We want you in this program.
Yeah.
Also, any homeschoolers, anybody that's age 10 and up can also participate in this program. So if you want to attend, go to bournelibrary.org, sign up under the event calendar, and register for this program. That's step one of dusting off the cobwebs.
Excellent.
See you soon. So Kathy,
Yes.
did I ever tell you what I wanted to be when I grew up?
What do you want to be?
What I wanted to be. I kind of gave up the dream.
Okay, what?
I thought I wanted to be a lawyer. And then I
Oh.
realized there was a ton of reading involved. So I became a librarian. Anyway, be that as it may, we have a Dust Off the Cobwebs program given by Judge Dennis Curran, who's a retired judge from Massachusetts, and he's talking about the Armistead trials. Now, before you all roll your eyes around, tell us a little bit about the Armistead trials.
Well, this was the first civil rights trial in American history. It was 2 decades before the Civil War. Basically, it pitted the American government against the Spanish government, the president against his own Secretary of State, the executive branch versus the judicial branch, and abolitionists versus slave traders. It was a big deal. And it even prompted a former president to appear before the Supreme Court. So it's finally getting the recognition it deserves. You may have seen Steven Spielberg's movie Amistad. Well, this is all about that. So this is where we're going to be smart.
We're going to be
learn
very
about something really important in American history.
So we're offering this program on Saturday, January 7th at 1 p.m. Definitely something a little different. This particular judge, Judge Curran, has a whole series of talks that he gives for free to various libraries. And I've seen his Zoom, and he just is the most affable. It's not like he's very, well, certainly not Judge Judy, but he's just got a very nice way about him. And I think even if you aren't overly interested in the legal aspects, just the history piece alone is going to be great. You know how we had the sharing and caring on top of all of our displays, and it looked so great?
Yes.
And it was very successful. Thank you to everybody who came out and supported it. Thank you to the Friends of the Library who did a super job. That was really
fabulous.
great.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, the library looks pretty sad without anything up there.
It's true.
So we've solved it.
Oh.
We're having the Upper Cape Camera Club do a month-long exhibit here at the library. They're going to do 40 individual photos on top of all of our display space out in the center of the library.
Oh, that's nice.
They're going to be installing it January 6th and 7th. There'll be an artist reception. Oh. Unfortunately, there won't be any wine, so we'll just have a reception. It'll be cheese and cookies and things like that. Tea, we'll have tea. On Friday the 13th from 4:30 to 6. We're going to stay open an extra hour so the people who work can come by.
But there'll be some really interesting pictures, I'm sure.
These people are above amateur in terms of photography. They've done displays in other libraries, other exhibits.
Oh, wow.
They've done them mostly down Cape. Even though it's called the Upper Cape Camera Club, they've never done anything here. So we're looking forward to hosting them, and stay tuned for more details.
So, speaking of sort of winter activities, how is the knitting going?
Knit happens.
Wow. Okay.
Get that little play on words?
Yeah.
So the demand is out of control. We are now adding a daytime session of knitters.
Wow, who knew?
So who knew? I mean, I'm really appreciative of the 2 volunteer ladies who run this program. Starting a daytime knitting group. It may only go through the spring, and then once the weather is better, people maybe aren't as interested. But we're starting on January 10th from 2 to 3 p.m. So they'll be doing the exact same thing as the evening program, but you won't have to drive at night. So we're really hoping that all the people who participated in the Caring and Sharing Tree, that knit hats and gloves, and who want to not knit alone, will come during the daytime.
Wow.
And they're a really nice group of people. I mean, they help the beginners. It's everything in a library program that you wanted. People that are strangers, helping each other. We could use a lot more of that in our community these days.
For sure. How about crocheting? If knitting is happening, then maybe crocheting could be.
Okay, so is there anybody out there who wants to maybe do a dry run of 4 weeks of a crochet club? I don't know how to do it, so I would need to have someone who could lead it and at least teach the beginners how to do it.
So, Iria, tell me anything else going on at the library?
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Arms crossed. Toes crossed. Our new assistant director, Colleen Cunningham, is starting Tuesday, January 10th. I cannot wait.
Wow.
It's been
finally
a long 2 years.
Yes.
So we'll do a whole little splashy announcement. We may have coffee with Colleen as a little meet and greet for people. We weren't able to do that during COVID. I think all of you know me by now, so if you want to meet and greet me, come on by. But really, it would be exciting to meet her. She's a librarian from Texas, not originally from Texas. I was a little worried, like, oh, have you ever driven in New England? I'm from Pittsburgh. Okay, she can drive in New England. Yep. So we're really excited. She brings a whole set of skills, particularly with adult programming.
Yep. And genealogy.
And genealogy.
So that would be a great thing to do.
This tells you something about a librarian. So her library genealogy club that meets once a month in Austin was so sad that she was leaving and moving up here that they asked, could they do a joint genealogy program with us once a month? Ooh. And they would Zoom in so that they could stay with her, because a lot of the people, she also works in a retirement-heavy community, have a lot of relatives in the Northeast. So once we get our feet under us and she gets settled, I think we'd love to do something like that. Right. So be sure to come by starting January 10th and meet Colleen, our new assistant director.
The Friends of the Jonathan Bourne Public Library held their Caring and Sharing auction, which was a huge success. Big shout out to all who made items for the auction and all who bid on the items. It raised $4,911 to benefit 18 charities and 2 public town departments. Be sure to check out the wide variety of programs for children of all ages at the library. Go to their website, bournelibrary.org, and click on Events, or contact the Children's Librarian, Terry Johnson, at 508-759-0600, or send her an email, tjohnson@bournelibrary.org. New dump stickers are available at the Guard Shack during regular business hours, which are Wednesdays through Monday, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., closed on Tuesdays. Reminder, no cash is accepted for payment for stickers. Hey, please don't bag your recycling. Dump the recycling out of the bag so it's loose in those blue-lidded containers. Clean and rinse out cans and bottles before putting them in the barrel. iSwim now has a residential food waste collection program. Food waste and scraps that will be collected in separate carts located by the Guard Shack. Big Brothers and Big Sisters organization is in need of mentors. The mentoring program takes place once a week at the Bourne Intermediate School and the Bourne Middle School during a student's lunch and recess time. For more information, contact Deb Martin at Big Brothers Big Sisters by phone 508-827-8176 or email her at dmartin@capebigs.org. 988 is the new federal 3-digit crisis helpline. They provide 24/7 free and confidential support to people in suicidal crisis or emotional distress. Locally, you can call the Samaritans of Cape Cod at 508-548-8900. If you're in need of Meals on Wheels, or if you can volunteer to deliver meals, please call Elder Services of Cape Cod at 508-394-4630. Inflation has driven the cost of groceries sky high. Combined with the high cost of heating our homes this winter, the food pantry is needed more than ever. The Bourne Food Pantry is located at 121 Main Street in Buzzards Bay. It is open on Tuesdays from 9 a.m. to noon, and you can send monetary donations to the Bourne Food Pantry, P.O. Box 144, Buzzards Bay, Massachusetts 02532. The Council on Aging in the Bourne Community Building, 239 Main Street, offers a variety of programs to those 60 years and older. Check out the new Winter Cornhole program on Wednesday from 1 to 3 p.m. Call to register 508-759-0600, extension 5300. Or have fun with Team Trivia on January 19th and February 9th at 1:30 p.m. Again, you must call to register. Become a soup master with Dave Wheeler of Therapy Gardens. Sample some homemade soups and learn how to make them yourself. It's in person on February 16th at 1 p.m. at the Bourne Community Building. Call to register. Also, there is a new puzzle time on Mondays beginning January 9th from 1 to 3 p.m. Bring your own puzzles or choose one from the selection at the front desk. On Monday, January 23rd, it's Drum Circle with Sherry Best. Registration is required. Beginning in February, AARP tax aid appointments are available on Mondays and Thursdays. Appointments are free and are available on a first-come, first-served basis, so register beginning January 9th at 508-759-0600, extension 5300. The Veterans Coffee Hour will be held on January 11th and February 8th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. The COA has a new team member. Christine Tanzo is the new front desk clerk, so give her a big hello when you come in. There's lots more programming at the Council on Aging. Check out their newsletter online at townofbourne.com. Click on the Council on Aging department. And then select Newsletter from the left. Here are some beautiful photos from area photographers showing the beauty that surrounds us. Here's an update on COVID-19. Hopefully you and your family and friends made it through the holidays safely and in good health. It seems almost everyone I talked to had some stories of friends and family members who had their holiday plans disrupted by COVID. The CDC reports that the new COVID variant XBB was responsible for 75% of cases in New England. Early evidence suggests that infections caused by this variant aren't any more severe than the previous Omicron strains, but there might be a higher risk of infection. The 14-day positivity rate for the state of Massachusetts is reported to be 9.92%, up from 5.82% at the end of November. Barnstable County has a 14-day positivity rate of 11.2%, up from 7.98% last month. Bourne's positivity rate for the last 2 weeks is 14.2%, up from 9.6% at the end of November. Falmouth 2-week positivity rate is 8.4%. Mashpee 2-week positivity rate is 12.75%, and Sandwich has a 2-week positivity rate of 8.9%. If you get COVID, you may be able to take an antiviral such as Paxlovid if you are 65 years or older, or if you are at least 12 years of age and have underlying conditions that make you susceptible to severe COVID. It's a pill that you take twice a day for 5 days. You must start within 5 days of symptoms beginning. The sooner, the better. There are studies indicating that taking an antiviral will help prevent long COVID. Contact your physician to see if it's right for you and to get a prescription. Paxlovid is free for everyone in the U.S. The U.S. government is once again offering 4 free COVID tests to be delivered by mail to your home free of charge. You can order them online at covid.gov/tests or by calling 1-800-232-0233. Barnstable County is at medium risk for COVID. The CDC recommends that when COVID-19 community level is medium or high, if you are at a high risk of getting very sick from COVID, wear a high-quality mask or respirator, such as an N95, when indoors in public. If you have household or social contact with someone at high risk for getting very sick, consider self-testing to detect infection before contact and consider wearing a high-quality mask when indoors with them. It's been a tough several weeks for flu cases. However, mass.gov says seasonal influenza activity remains high but is declining in most areas. RSV is another virus in the triple threat of viruses this winter, especially for babies and young children. Health officials urge parents to observe babies and young children carefully for signs of congestion and difficulty breathing. Well, here's a look at the calendar with some upcoming local events. The Uptuxet VFW 5988 post, located across from Grey Gables Market at 180 Shore Road, will hold a meat raffle on January 14th. On January 17th, the Bourne Newcomers and Neighbors Club will hold its social in this same VFW. If you'd like to join this fun social group or learn about the many fun programs offered, go to bournenewcomers.org or find them on Facebook. On January 9th at noon, the Uptuxet Garden Club will host Rebecca Warner as she presents Easy First Steps to an Earth-Friendly Garden. The meeting, held at Crane Hall in the Bourne United Methodist Church at 37 Sandwich Road next to the library. For more information about the Garden Club, visit uptuxetgardenclub.com. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up with what's happening in Bourne. Go to youtube.com and search for Bourne Community TV, and then hit subscribe. Well, that's a wrap for 2022. Thanks so much for watching this episode of the Bourne Review, and I'll see you next time.